Hello and welcome to the video. For those of you that watch my channel regularly, you'll know that you can probably spot a little 2-port charger back there. That is my GensACE IMARS dual charger. Now, I've had that for nearly a year now and I absolutely love it. Lots of us, when we got this charger, reviewed it and fell in love with it, and it's become my daily driver for 2-port charging. Fortunately, mine died within the warranty period, and I'm very pleased to say that the warranty exchange was absolutely painless. In fact, I made a video on that. No pun intended with the painless thing, but it was very good, and it continues to be my 2-port charger. However, I've got this in because this appears to be an upgraded version of my favourite 2-port charger. This is the GensACE D300. So this new D300 has a maximum AC charging power of 300 watts versus the 200 watts that was available on the IMARS Dual. It has a 16% increase on the DC charging power, so now it's 350 watts times 2, whereas the IMARS Dual's just 300 watts times 2. Maximum charging current has increased a little bit too, so it's 16 amps per channel versus 15 amps, and the maximum input current has been increased a little bit as well. 30% increase, goes from 30 amps on the IMARS Dual up to 34 amps on this D300. So all in all, a lot of new stuff. In addition to being a bigger, chunkier, more capable version of the IMARS Dual behind me, this also has another trick up its sleeve. It looks like it is called GTEC. Now, the GTEC logo is here on the charger, and it's also on batteries as well. And it all boils down to this extra little pin that's by the side of the balance tap. That little spring-loaded pin corresponds to an extra pin that's available on the balance tap itself. Now, there have been other versions of smart technology before, and eSheen and those guys have done it, but I guess that the fact that this is a battery expert introducing this hopefully means that it'll have more legs. I'll show you what that actually means in a minute, but it means that there can be data stored on the battery that the charger can read and kind of auto configure and make everything an awful lot easier. As you can see in the box, not only do you get the charger and the mains cable, but you also get a lot of adapters. It's XT60 based connections on this thing, but there are Dean's connectors and other battery connector adapters in here as well, which is a nice touch. In terms of the modes that's available in this, it's absolutely what you'd expect. It's very, very similar to the IMARS Dual when you go into the battery settings for regular batteries. For example, if you go to the top and we select the task, you have charge, discharge, storage, balance, external discharge to discharge into a battery if you're using that, use a digital power supply, and sync charge, which allows you to use both ports at once. Battery types that are supported: LiHV, LiPo, lithium ion, LAFE and nickel metal hydride. Target voltage can be changed, so 4.2 is what you're going to have for your LiPos, but you might want to go up a little bit higher and it will alter that for things like your high voltage batteries. Cell count is done automatically. Target current can go down to 0.1 amp, and as I just mentioned, goes up to a maximum of 16 amps, an extra amp over the original one. So in terms of plugging in a regular traditional battery into the charger and using it, it's exactly the same as the IMARS Dual. You just plug it in, you go and select the chemistry of the battery, the number of cells, the charging current, you start it, and away it goes. However, if you have one of the new intelligent batteries with that extra connector on the balance tap, then it gets incredibly easy. All you have to do is you just plug that into the balance tap. That additional spring-loaded pin touches the data contact, and the charger auto configures, gives you a countdown so you can stop it and do other things with the battery, but by default it'll read out the capacity of the battery, set the charge for 1C, figure out everything you need to know, and just charge it. Now, you can of course change the battery parameters if you really want to with these smart batteries, but I do like this as an idea. I occasionally will do things like set up the charger behind me, the IMARS Dual, for high voltage if I'm doing something like charging lots of Whoop batteries, and then occasionally I will forget, and luckily I normally spot it as soon as I hit go and see that the target voltage is a little bit wacky. But having the ability to just plug the battery into the charger and have everything set up automatically so those kind of things don't happen is a really neat idea. So it looks like GensACE has managed to improve my favourite charger. If you are not bothered about using the G-Tech batteries and those extra features, then you know what? This might be a little bit too much for you. But if you want the additional power and the additional wattage, and maybe you're going to balance charge different batteries from this could be right up your street. Is this one going to replace the IMARS Dual that's behind me? Not at the moment. That one is still working incredibly well. This will be put to one side and probably go in the field kit because, again, not only can it run from mains, it can also run from a battery too, and that makes it incredibly versatile. And those higher currents means that you could put things like parallel boards and stuff on here and charge more than one battery at once that you really want to. The thing that I really like about the G-Tech technology is how simple and foolproof it is. Once you plug that balance tap in, it kind of does all of it for you. The thing that I really like about it is the fact it gives you a time remaining. It'll figure out how long you've got to wait before the battery's finished charging. And for those of you that may have the ability to, if you have a nice bit of weather and a half hour, run out and go and have some flying, knowing how long the battery is going to take is actually a big part of the problem. I wish this charger also figured out how long the non-G-Tech batteries were going to take to complete, because if it's a regular battery, the interface is almost exactly the same as the IMARS Dual. It gives you a percentage of the charge, which is very, very handy, but the time remaining for those G-Tech batteries is actually really a nice thing to have. So links down below if you want to go and have a look at this. So two options now for GensACE for these kind of chargers. You can either go with the IMARS Dual, which is probably still my favorite, but if you want to have that just plug and play ability, manage your batteries, have everything set up, and much harder to make a mistake when you're charging, the IMARS D300 is probably the one for you. Thank you for watching the video. If you watch my videos and find them useful, then please take a moment to hit the like and subscribe button. It helps the channel a lot. If you really like what I'm doing here, you can become a Patreon and support the time I spend helping others and get access to lots of exclusive benefits. Link is in the video description. Remember that all the videos on the channel are organized into playlists, so you can easily use those playlists to find all the videos on a subject that you are interested in. Add Painless 360 to your searches on Google and YouTube, and it'll help you find my content for any particular topic. Thanks again for watching, and as always, happy flying.